We're joined now by Jack, just 5 years old. Jack, how are you, buddy? Good. And then Mom's here as well. Danielle, how are you?
Hi, we're good. Thank you.
Good. Thanks for coming in and sharing your story with us today. And I guess I would say let's.
Go home.
I guess we would start
Soon, buddy.
when we share your story. The story starts at the beginning for Jack.
Yes.
As right after birth, Jack had to go into the NICU.
Yes.
Tell us how you found out about that. Tell us how that all came to be.
Can we talk for just a few minutes and then go home? Okay.
Jack says, "I've heard this story enough."
When I was pregnant with Jack, we did not realize that there would be any complications or that he would have Down syndrome. But when he was a few hours old, they noticed some things that were concerning. So they brought him to the NICU. And then when they were trying to feed him, the most urgent problem was a stomach blockage. So that was the first thing we dealt with. And then he had some respiratory issues. And so we were here for a few months dealing with a couple medical issues, some related to Down syndrome and some not. But by the time he came home, he was super healthy, and he has been ever since.
And so as you find out about this, kind of reading some of the notes with Jack, 5 days into it, he's having surgery.
Yes.
What does that do as you're going into this being, if not one of the, greatest days of your life?
Sure.
You're becoming a mom, and then you start to notice the complications, and then here you are 5 days later, and your newborn is going into surgery.
Sure. It definitely was not what we expected, but you just kind of have to roll with it. And we have a very supportive family, and the hospital was wonderful in explaining everything and letting us know what we could look forward to and anticipate. So we just kind of dealt with it. I guess we weren't really thinking about it at the time.
You just take it as it comes, I guess,
Sure.
at that point. So when you had that first surgery was for a stomach blockage.
Yes.
And then what happens from there when he comes out of surgery and, they kind of give you the results / outlook of what's going on? Was it a thought at that point of that may be the end of it, or did you know at that point that there was going to be more to follow?
No, so at that point, that was where we really had to rely on the expertise of his surgeon and the pulmonologist here. He was supposed to just recover from the stomach surgery and go home a few weeks later once he started eating. And he had a couple complications, and we had no idea why, but he wasn't able to breathe on his own. And so Dr. Walford and the pulmonologist said, "We think we know what the problem is. We think that this next surgery will fix it. We're not quite sure," but we went with their expertise, and they were right, and she was able to do it laparoscopically and fix part of his diaphragm that was paralyzed. And he, like nurses, when he was a baby, would read his charts and wonder like where his oxygen was. But he came off out of that surgery and recovered completely, and has, we have never looked back. He's been so healthy since.
How many surgeries has he had?
Just 2 technical surgeries. He's had a bunch of ear, nose, throat things throughout the years because he has really tiny canals. So he's had his tonsils out and his adenoids out and a bunch of ear tubes. But those are kind of outpatient procedures. But we do those here as well.
And it's got to be the toughest thing, being so young, having to, try to explain or, why you're coming back here to All Children's. Was there a point, or even now? I mean,
loves it
when
here.
you explain, you're preparing to go back, come to Johns Hopkins All Children's.
Do you like to go to the hospital?
He's got a smile on his face. That's a good
Jack?
start.
Can you say hospital? Hospital. He loves to come here. No, we've been. I mean, there was a point in his life where we were here like 7 or 8 times a week for different therapies in the CDRC, and he loves coming here. It was our home away from home for a long time, and everyone here's been wonderful. We've never had a bad experience.
Which is a good way to put it, home away from home, when you're spending as much time here as you are at home with a brand new baby. And that's the reason we're here doing it today, raising money with Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, which you can definitely be a part of. We'll get you the details on that here in just a moment. Jack, what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite part about the hospital? Can you tell us? What do you love about the hospital?
Who did you come see here? Who did you come see here for speech? Do you remember? Always being shy.
Jack was running. I want to just tell everybody, Jack was running around the room here. He was hopping on things. He was talking to the Disney princesses. He was pulling on the cameras, and he got a little gun shy as we jumped on the air here.
Say? This is your chance on the radio. What do you want to say?
No.
No. Can you say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas. There you go.
Say
Perfect.
call now.
No.
Call now. All right. Well, Jack's getting a little stir crazy, so Mom will let you guys go here. But thank you so much for sharing your story with us today and letting us know what it is here with All Children's. That the reason that obviously you're so in debt to it here, just with the success you guys have had and dealing with it. Appreciate you sharing your story and filling us in here with Jack as he continues to just grow and become the man that he's going to be, all because of the hospital here.
Absolutely.
Getting it all started and getting you.
We're so grateful to have it right in here literally in our backyard. We live about 5 minutes from here, but we love that it's here, and we have family and friends that have also used it for happy things and not so happy things, but it always turns out for the best. So.
Well, that's why we're here, and that's why we need your help here with Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. Thanks, Jack. Can you say bye? You're welcome.
Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we just had to get him down. He just had to get away from Mom's lap, and now he's happy again.